How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a spectacular day. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe, of course, if you guys haven't already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all. Hit that bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on my channel. Also, make sure to head over to Twitch. Follow me there at Douglas447. I stream there at least once a week, whether it be for Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, Destiny, or just whatever else I'm in the mood for. And we're going to be talking about Pete's Dragon, the 2016 live-action remake. And we're going to talk about positives and negatives, and I'll give you guys my final score. So, this is rated PG. It's about an hour and 45 minutes long, and this is a live-action remake of Pete's Dragon. I didn't see this in theaters. I decided, you know what, I'll watch it because it's on Disney Plus. And I'll be completely honest with you guys. The original is still the best. Plain and simple. This movie does some interesting things and some really bad things. So basically this is about a mysterious boy named Pete who lives in the Pacific Northwest woods with the giant green dragon named Elliot. And together they embark on an adventure filled with a bunch of fantasy elements. And along the way they meet Mr. Metcham and his daughter Grace and a bunch of others, and they all really want to know if Elliot is real, and they want to sell him and use him as a, amusement park attraction. And yeah, the plot's really weird in this movie. It's really hard to nail what's actually happening on screen. Like, they didn't know how to modernize the plot of the original. Like, there's just stuff that happens. People are saying things, people are doing things, but you are so confused as to what is happening. And the plot for this film it's a jumbled mess. Now, this is a good movie for all ages. Bryce Dallas Howard, that is currently been directing and producing some of the Mandalorian episodes, and she's also in the Jurassic World films, and along with Karl Urban, which is one of the actors in the Amazon show The Boys. Both of these are really amazing voice actors, and they really do a great job in the movie. And there's a bunch of other actors and actresses in this film that are pretty well known, and everyone brings their A game. This film does explain in better detail compared to the original as to why Pete is alone and why he ends up being with Elliot. Like in the original, they kind of try to touch on it, but they don't really do it in a very clear and understandable way that makes you able to connect and understand Pete's backstory. This backstory of Pete as to why he's with Elliot, it seems a lot more smooth and a lot more understandable, and I really enjoyed it for that. This film also hits this theme majorly as to don't believe only what you see, believe in the unseen, and believe in unknowns. Like, I believe in a bunch of things that physically with my own two eyes I can't see, but I know exists just because of my gut feeling and my instincts. This film does have a sad but also a very satisfying conclusion at the same time. If you haven't seen the original, I guess you can watch this, but the original is still the best version of this movie, and this film honestly just reaffirms my statement that the original Disney movies are still the best, and all these live-action remakes just prove that Disney doesn't really have anything new and original. I mean, they have some new and original things, but all this live-action remake stuff really is just a waste of money and time, in my personal opinion. Negative-wise, the special effects in this film are very average, especially the special effects about Elliot. Let's talk about the fact that this is a live-action movie, and so they had to come up with a way to make a green dragon that can breathe fire and turn invisible live action. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not sure why, though, they decided to make Elliot's face look like this cat and dog hybrid. I mean, Elliot even acts like a dog at times. He's like sniffing the ground like he's a dog. I'm just like, is this creature supposed to be a dog and cat hybrid, or is it supposed to be a dragon? I'm really confused. And because of that confusion, his face honestly is just really disturbing to look at. And you really don't get to see all that much of Elliot, even when he is on screen. It's like they were scared because the special effects aren't all that spectacular. And I feel like Disney knew that, and that's why they tried to hide it. There are moments of way too much drama that just drag on constantly. Like there's certain scenes where characters are just staring at each other, and I'm like, waiting for something to happen. We're waiting. Also, Pete is constantly running and walking on rocks and twigs and tree branches and dirt. Yet, if you watch this movie really carefully, his feet are never really dirty and they're never injured. Like he's walking on all these sharp and pointy objects, yet he never gets his feet once in this entire movie hurt. He never gets a splinter in his feet. He never has any injuries whatsoever. Pete is like Iron Man. He's completely invincible to all sorts of danger when it comes to his feet. Pay attention to that if you could, in case you watch this movie. There are also just so many changes from the original that this version of the film, it doesn't feel, honestly, like a Pete's Dragon live action remake. This movie doesn't feel like a Pete's Dragon movie. It feels completely weird. It feels odd. It feels like a separate movie. Like it's its own thing. This movie doesn't feel like a Pete's Dragon film. This movie feels like a How to Train Your Dragon movie, but in a modern era. And I hate having to say that because I love the original Pete's Dragon. This movie has a very big identity crisis going for it. Last couple things. The whole "don't destroy the forest" is one of the most overused plot devices ever in movies, and unfortunately, it is in this movie. And it really just made my head hurt that they decided to go with this instead of these evil carnival people trying to take over town. At least that was understandable. But don't destroy the forest because there's a dragon that lives inside. Oh, Disney and their politics. This movie also takes about 25 minutes before it actually gets going. Like I said, this movie is about an hour and 45 minutes long, so almost 1/3 of the runtime is spent on build-up and setup, which is really bad considering there's not all that many characters and locations to have to explain and explore. And lastly, the lighting in this movie is really bad. Like, I had to turn my brightness up an extra 25% so I could see what was happening on screen. It's not that my TV screen is bad. I've got a really good 4K TV, and it was really just hard to see things in the dark. Like, it was really hard. I had to turn the brightness up, and because I turned the brightness up when things actually were supposed to be the way they were supposed to be, that I got blinded, and I'm just like, the lighting people in this film deserve a F. With that, guys, I mean, if you haven't seen the original and you decided to watch this version, I guess it'll be okay for you. But if you're like me and you've seen the original Disney Pete's Dragon, this movie is going to be a really big disappointment for you guys. So with that, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. You guys all have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream, whether it be here on YouTube or Twitch at Douglas447. Bye, guys.